Wow, there he goes. That's Jimmy. Jimmy gone. Jimmy McGivern, or Johnny Starr. Off he goes, and we'll be hearing him again on the programme. A long way from Haldon and Shields' timber yard in Newry to Carnegie Hall in New York. In studio, Vanessa Magowan from the Sunflower Festival, but really not. You're from Hillsborough. Out of your family has grown the Sunflower Festival.
That's right.
Of Hillsborough. And you're only down the road, and it's due to happen again and soon.
9th to the 11th of August.
Wow. 9th, I'm going to write that down, to the 11th of August. And tell the people exactly what it is.
It's a 3-day music and arts festival, but much more than that. It's more like an experiential weekend in the countryside.
Wow. Levitation.
So not quite.
That takes me into the area of your yoga.
Yeah, yoga and meditation. Well, that's my background. Also, I'm an occupational therapist.
Wow.
But so that there is a bit of that flavour over the festival. We have an area called the Sunflower Bliss, which is complementary therapies, one-on-one healing sessions and workshops, but just a lovely area to chill. Drumming circles, fire circles. We have 5 stages of different genre of music. We have a couple of great headliners, Friday night, Saturday night, Alabama 3 Unplugged on the Friday night.
Wow, tell me about Alabama. The name encourages me to think a certain type of music, am I right?
Well, I think they
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they've got a strange way of describing themselves, but that, obviously people may know them, may not know of the band, but everyone must know the theme tune from Sopranos.
Yes,
and that was theirs, and that really made them famous. And I only just discovered that's about the empowerment of women, that song. Wow.
Well, my experience of life is that the women I have known have never needed empowerment. I was always slavishly at their feet. It was my formula for survival.
That's the Irish women.
They're tough, I tell you. They can do it.
They're creative.
Yeah, but you're in Hillsborough down the road. Hillsborough is very close to my heart because I taught at university alongside Neil Shawcross, the great artist who lives in Hillsborough. And I was building schools in Africa at the time. And Neil, in the course of the year, we used to have a soiree every Tuesday in the Life Room. You would bring the smoked salmon, I would bring the baguette, or you would bring the champagne, somebody else would bring the pate, whatever. And we would sit down, we'd have a feast. And one thing led to another, and I had a great hairy head and beard at the time. And Neil did a painting of me, wouldn't let me see it. And on the last day of the season, on the last day of the last soiree of the season, he said, Rowan, go out and bring in the parcel. I brought this thing in, that size by this size. He said, open it. And I opened it, and there is this huge painting of me done by Neil. I said, Neil, I can't accept this. He's your neighbour down there, for goodness sake.
Yeah, I know him. I play tennis.
Well, you can tell. Does he still play tennis?
Yes,
well, tell him I told this story.
Yeah,
tell him how much I love him. He's a great man. And he said, look, take this as a gift. I said, no, I can't do that. He insisted. So I took it as a gift. And after a while, I saw it on my wall, and I thought to myself, Neil, I'll do a copy of this, but would you let me sell it at auction for my African school? This could build a classroom. He agreed.
Wow.
And it fetched €13,000 at Adams in Dublin.
Oh,
isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Yeah.
But he's very generous like
13,000.
Yes.
And then one of my friends in Newry came to me and said, Rowan, I was delighted it was Dr. Gerard O'Hare in Newry, and he said, I was delighted your painting did so well for your project. And I said, yeah, I rather think you might have been in there pushing the price up. He says, no, I wasn't, but in fact we bought it. I said, I'm so delighted it's going to a good home. He said, yes, it is. We bought it to give it back to you as a gift for what you're doing in Africa.
Wow.
Wasn't that lovely?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've actually got that painting, I hope.
Yeah, well, indeed, it's there, and it's done very well for Africa. So it's a lovely story.
It is.
And that's the nature. I tell you that only to kind of make a connection with Hillsborough, because traditionally people would, in this part of the world, wouldn't have thought of Hillsborough as our neighbours as quickly as they would have thought of Dundalk. But there is that closeness to Hillsborough. Lovely village.
Easy to get to, and our farm
lovely
is
village,
just 7 minutes drive from Hillsborough.
So you're Australian?
I am.
Which part?
Married from Sydney.
Sydney. Married to an Irishman?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good.
And we lived out there for 20 years, but I think, as is the way with a lot of Irish, they
one at home to his mummy or whatever is roots.
Yeah.
That was a big sacrifice for you, for goodness sake.
Well, I had a lot of trips To and from. I actually worked here back in the 80s at Petersburg.
You got used to us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I enjoy it. I actually enjoy it. But we have 2 boys, and they went. One is still at Ince, and one was head boy at Ince. Actually.
Hey, that's good.
So they've had a great time here.
Yeah.
But funny enough, my big boy has gone back to Australia to study.
Yeah, so. That's wonderful. I like that. That's a connection.
But he's our musical guy that really led us to do the Sunflower Fest.
So he led you to do the Sunflower Festival. Like, I mean, it's an extraordinary enough thing for a family to do.
Yeah.
What was the moment? The eureka moment when you said, "I'm going to have a Sunflower Festival"?
I think it was after this fundraiser where we had 16 bands who.
And you were raising funds for what?
For my son to go do similar to what you were doing. He didn't go to Africa, he went to Chile, and he was building schools in Chile, so he was trying to raise some funds for that. Isn't that wonderful? And basically the Sunflower Fest has always had a charity, been associated with a charity. So the first charity was Haiti, because that was the year they had the earthquake and the year that we decided to
I don't think poor Haiti has ever really properly recovered.
No, it hasn't. Actually, it's still struggling. But so over the years we've had partnerships with Oxfam, Bernardo's, and this year we're actually still looking for a charity. We hope Stepping Stones.
Yes.
Because I have a personal interest.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, what is Stepping Stones?
They do a lot with young adults with learning disabilities and find them employment. And it's excellent.
So is this the first Sunflower Festival?
No, this is our 4th year.
4th year?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
So we
had you're building success upon success.
3,500 people last year, and we expect around 5,000 this year. But it's a very, it's all inclusive.
Yeah.
It's from, you get babies in arms to 70-year-olds out in their onesies.
Yes.
The next day after a night camping, they really and the music. We appeal to all tastes.
And it's happening on your farm?
On our farm, which is a sunflower farm.
Sunflower farm.
We grow raspberries and sunflowers and blueberries and allow people to roam. We've got a herbalist this year who'll take people on walks. We've got green wood turning workshops. We've got felt making, spinning workshops. We've got a beautiful bliss area for complementary therapies, as I was saying, fire circles, drumming circles.
For goodness sake.
We've got 5 stages of music, and then we've got this beautiful area called the Enchanted Glade, and we're going to be doing little pirate interactive sea shanties and storytelling, and trying to get a crew of a reckless crew together to, and their induction is to do a ceilidh. So that'll be going over the weekend.
Vanessa, has it ever struck you that you've gone from here to a new reality, that you really have emerged in the Elysium fields of Sunflower Farm?
Yes.
And that it's in heaven you are. It sounds that way.
It is in heaven, and it's funny, you've got it, Rowan, because when people turn up at that gate, it's like they just look over the hills and the sight in front of them, and it's like magic, and they know for 3 days they can just shed the drudgery of their week or their world, and actually just be free to be. They can try their hand at anything, and everyone has a light to shine. This is the place to do it, whether you're talented or not, musically.
It often strikes me, and people talk to me about holidays, it's the same kind of area I'm going to deal with here. People said, "Do you do?" I said, "Don't do holidays, because when you go on holidays, the holiday is ending from the beginning. When they go to you, free to be, they're free to be for the 2-3 days, whatever. Then they've got to come back to the reality in their own lives. Don't they have to, in some way, cultivate their own sunflower farm in their own hearts and their own lifestyle?"
But what some people have never experienced it. It's a community. It's only a small site. So you walk in there, someone will help you put your tent up. Your neighbour. It's so safe, it's so friendly, there's this creative atmosphere. People suddenly, I know it sounds weird, but people have said it's transformational. So they go away with sunflower in their heart, and they think, anything is possible.
I'm going to do something like that.
Anything is possible.
And does it appeal to an audience you might expect to be interested in it, or do you get people who are coming from quite seriously disadvantaged backgrounds?
As I said, we're appealing to everyone, a really wide range of people. So we get teenagers who love the music, and that's where we also differ from festivals. A lot of festivals will not allow 13 to 17-year-olds.
Yes.
I just think that's mad. You know, bring them along. They interact with adults. So every person, no matter what race, creed, religion, sex.
You bring your tent.
You don't have to. There's day tickets as well. You
day
can
tickets,
come for the Friday, the Saturday.
But you welcome campers to come with you.
Welcome campers. We've got spaces for 2,000. It's not a massive.
It's nice. It's nice.
And there's a quiet singles camping. There's a family dedicated family camping. There's a more rowdy camping group. There's a teenage alcohol-free zone.
Yes.
But the big thing too, we are allowing 2 children 12 and under in free per paying adult. So
now, if I want to come there and I want to camp, what's it going to cost me?
£69.95 plus a booking fee of £3 through the Belfast Welcome Centre.
And that's for 2 days, 3 days?
3 days, 2 nights camping, 3 days, but
it's
jam-packed.
That's good.
There's 9 venues. There's a dedicated kids zone, willow sculpting, all free. Willow sculpting, face painting, balloon modelling, circus workshops, you name it.
Listen, I wish you luck with it. It's
Thank
good.
you.
So listen, am I in shot? I am there, my dear fellow. I've dropped my microphone. I do that quite constantly. One must seek not to drop the microphone. What would I? But that's as good as it gets. You know, take yourself off down the road, the beautiful road, all the way to Hillsborough, and then you'll find a kind of, as you go into the forested areas of the farmlands, you'll be the dual carriageway will have morphed into a kind of yellow bricky type road, and you will see the golden sun above the low horizon and the blue sky behind it, and you'll be guided in by the music of Pan's pipers or whatever. Something nice will be coming to you, drawing you in. What a way to spend 3 days, and not an awful lot of money involved. To be recommended.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
You take
Thanks
care.
for having
All
me.
the best.
Thanks.
Sean, let's have a lesser quality. Well, it's not a lesser quality of music, but it is a different kind of music now.